Hey guys, second video, second build, and today I'm going to be doing a 0 to hero video. It's rare for me to do this, I've not done one before, but I've been inspired by the goats such as Magefist and Exile Cat. They do really awesome content, and I also watched the Odyssey recently, so I really wanted to play a bow character. We're going to be playing a bow self-chill Warden, and using tech that I've not actually seen anyone use yet, so it's really cool. You use a new gem called Coursing Current. It allows you to chill an enemy and shock them at the same time, or vice versa. And then if we use Malagara's Restraint, we can actually reflect that onto ourselves. So we're going to be starting a fresh character, fresh dash tab, fresh everything, 0 to hero style. We're going to be using Galvanic Arrow to level. Galvanic Arrow is a 6 skill that has really cool interactions with projectile speed, where it increases your area of effect, and it allows you to have an essential double hit. It's really fun to use in campaign, especially with the mastery, where projectile speed increases your projectile damage. Because this isn't technically a league starter, the league already exists, we know what's good, and the charts are an absolute money printer. So very early on I want to get into charts, earn a lot of gold so we can make some early trades, and sell that sulfur for a lot of early chaos to make a lot of early upgrades to our build, just to make the axe way easier. So I rocked a Foulborn Quill Rain, Storm Charger, Prison Weave, and Tesselio's Sign just to get us through the entire campaign, and holy shit, it is so noticeable. The projectile speed off the Quill Rain is insane, and your AoE on Galvanic's already huge, plus you no longer have to worry about any mana cost at all. The plan for the Ascension points is to go Oath of Winter into Avatar of the Wilds, so that we can get a bunch of freeze for protection, and then a huge DPS boost for all the bossing that we need early on. So to explain the self-chill idea a little more, there's the new gem, Coursing Current, which drops from Velka. And like I said earlier, basically when you chill an enemy, you're going to also shock them. And if you shock an enemy, you're also going to chill them. If we combine this with the unique belt called Malagara's Restraint, it reflects our shocks back to us. It also seems to reflect our chills back to us with this gem. So as long as we're using a lightning or a cold based skill gem, we'll be able to apply this infliction. On top of that, it seems to apply with a really high effect. Like I was getting 30% chill effect pretty easily, which is quite rare. If we use the unique ring Winter Weave, it reverses the effect. So instead of us being slowed by 30%, we are now increased our action speed by 30%. This is really strong because it's actually a more multiplier. So if you have something like 100% attack speed, obviously you're going to have 130% attack speed. If you had 200% attack speed, you're now going to have 260% more attack speed because it multiplies the previous numbers. It's extremely strong, really good, really fun. I'm going to look forward to using it in the endgame. So leaving campaign with some extra chart farming, probably the richest I've ever been, so it's time to make some pretty quick upgrades. We're going to buy a Foulborn Heres and a Hinakora's Sight, with emphasis on the suppression roll, as that's going to be our main defense barrier for spells. An Ahuana's Bite for some self-chill reasons later. We have a rare helmet, gloves, and a ring, all with life and resistances, that's all we care about, and then a nice decent Ellie bow to get us started. It's a 0 to hero, so of course it's going to be a fresh Atlas, fresh start, and I'm going to work my way from tier 1 all the way to 16, and then the Void Stones. One of the other main reasons I went Warden is because she has a really strong defensive layer with her spell suppression and bark skin. So with Warden we can actually get up to technically 100%, but I get to about 97 spell suppress. Prevention, not chance, prevention. Means I'm only taking 3% of spell damage every time I get hit in the end game. We achieve this through a combination of our Foulborn Heres, which we bought before, the Hinakoras, Foulborn Ancestral Vision, which we'll buy later, and then Lessons of the Seasons plus some passive points. So this is the end of our tier 5 map, just finished off our white maps, and it's time to make a quick upgrade. Most importantly, we need to get a 6-link chest. So we liquidate our shit, buy up some jewelers, and quickly 6-socket that thing. Fusings now. Now let's have a crack. And holy shit, 44 fusings, let's go! Let's quickly finish through these yellow maps and then we'll try and make the switch to the self-chill version. We have a bit of money to spend, so let's buy our gear. We need Coursing Current, Malagaro's Restraint, Winter Weave, and a Bound by Destiny with Unaffected by Shock with Crusader mod. We grab Supreme Ostentation with Caspiro and put it here. We're now going to buy some rares, Crusader Helmet, some Crusader Gloves. We're going to Deafening Essence of Hatred on the gloves. Just anything good, wow, perfect. T1 life, little craft, and then some basic boots with movement speed and resistances. So the reason we got those Crusader mods is just so we can get the Unaffected by Shock on our Bound by Destiny working, and that means we can be shocked but not actually get any of the downsides. This is the self-chill already, just in Aqueducts, and it's feeling really clean. Already we're getting 30% chills with basically no chill effect. Earlier I bought Ahuanas. That's actually going to give us a 30% damage reduction thanks to the way it reverses the chill with our reverse chill Winter Weave shenanigans. And that's just because Ahuanas increases the damage taken, or the damage that enemies take, by our chill effect. So they take 30% more damage or increased damage. But when that's reflected to us and then reversed, we actually take 30% reduced damage due to our chill effect. That's how the forum says it anyway. I've not actually tested this in-game, so this could be a case of misinformation like in my previous video. Here's some more undersea printing for some more upgrades. So next up on our shopping list, we're going to grab a massive thread of hope with as little minus res as possible. We're also going to grab Fury of Nature, Forbidden Flesh and Flame. These were incredibly cheap for some reason, but it has one of the best proliferations for freeze and all ailments in the game. We're also going to grab a quick bow upgrade and a cluster jewel to support all our jewels. We also made a quick switch to Lightning Arrow. Nothing fancy, I just wanted to see how it felt, and it felt really good. So here's our tier 10 gameplay, and we're at the end of yellows, and we're about to enter some red maps. Okay, and I take it back. Lightning Arrow didn't feel good for very long. So we're going to switch to Elemental Heal the Spectrum as it just has so much more flat damage. We're also going to pick up a Taming Ring as well for extra damage. With those small tweaks, I'm feeling confident to do our Overlap and start doing our Void Stab. For Overlap, we're going to pick up Oath of Summer as Scorch is really strong against enemies and it'll really boost our single target. I'm not gonna lie, I'll keep it a buck. Our single target fucking sucks. I don't know why it's so hard. Every time I've tried a bow build, it is miserable experience doing these bosses. So while I did Exile and Eater myself, we get our first Void Stone. I have bought a carry for our Dread, Maven, and Elder, just so we can get into mapping and focus on actually mapping and doing what our character is made for. So with our Void Stones complete, we're going to make some changes. First of all, I'm going to unspec Avatar of the Wilds and then spec into Lessons of the Seasons. We're also going to go ahead and change our helmets. So we want a new helmet with Suppress. I'm swapping resistances with Harvest here. We're just going to slam a Crusader so we have that mod for our Bound by Destiny. Our first map strategy is going to be Breach. We're going to scry an Orb Graveyard onto our map as Sir Gog taught us to, and that's what I'm doing. I listen to the Gog. And then we're going to run a basic budget breach strategy, just a basic FUB gun strat. So the scarabs used were 2 times breach scarabs of instability, 2 times scarabs of monstrous lineage, and 1 scarab of beyond invasion. And then bulk by 8 mod maps. Running costs for 20 maps worth of scarabs and maps was about 500 chaos, which is roughly 2.5 divine at this point in the league. And so it's pretty cheap to run for 20 maps and not expensive at all. And honestly, I'm feeling very good in these maps. The character's feeling really tanky already, and I'm actually shocked. Like in my 20 maps I ran, I didn't die once, which usually for my builds, that's not the case. I die a lot. My builds are not that good. They're pretty bad. Yeah, this is one of the tankiest feeling characters I've ever had, and I feel like that's just because of the evasion suppression nature of it. These maps, however, did take forever to run, and I guess that's because my build isn't fully juiced yet. However, it was very long and not that profitable. I will run through those profits now after a quick loot montage. So most of the profits are actually in synaptic rings, which we're selling for like 75 chaos each. We only made about 6 div an hour, but we take it, Let's go make some upgrades. So first off, we're going to throw an anointment on. I threw this one on as it's within range of my supreme ostentation. And then we buy a nice bow with additional arrows. And then we're going to go for a nice corrupted Ahuana's bite. We're going to then buy a new Bound by Destiny with Corrupted Blood and a Foulborn Ancestral Vision. We need to divine this to perfect, so we're going to chuck it in the All Flame. And first time, because streamer client. Now we're going to try and get a Crusader Belt Melagaros, so we're going to corrupt these Crusaders. I'm going to use some Tainted Mythic Orbs to try and upgrade them to Melagaros. This should be a 1 in 10. And we get it third time. But this implicit is way nicer. We're now bleed immune, so I upgrade my flask. Buy a Fractured Resistance Gloves. We're going to Essence with Envy, and I'm just looking for tier 1 life, and I'll stop there. Yep, bang. We're now looking to get Projectile Pierce on our implicits, easy. And we're going to go for Rage implicit as well. Done. I then fill our tree with Tattoos of the Ramako Sniper for increased projectile speed and damage. Because we have Supreme Ostentation, we don't have to worry about attributes. For my next farming strategy, I'll be running the Delhi Heist tree that I ran in my last video, and it's simply just 5 Scarabs of Paranoia and an 8 mod corrupted map. And then you just go, grab heist, grab charts, simple life. Pick up loot at the end. This strategy was quite a bit more expensive, about 1,600 chaos or 7.5 divine total for 20 maps. It took me about an hour to run them and 30 minutes to liquidate at the end, which you'll see. I made about 18 divine revenue and roughly 10 divine an hour. I like it. It's simple, but holy shit, there's a lot to liquidate. You get to the end of the map and it's loot explosions, which I'm going to show very shortly. And it is liquidating of many, many varieties. You got fragments, essences, delirium, or scarabs. So if you like your fingers and you don't want to pick up heaps of things, maybe avoid this strategy. I kind of found a good rhythm with it. I actually like it a lot. I think this is really profitable on a league start. And I definitely plan on doing it on day 1 of the next league. We got this corruption which is going to sell for a bit. Sold it for 8 divine, and it's time to liquidate. So liquidating all those Deli Orbs, Scarabs, etc. This is what our stash is looking like so far. And we don't really have any upgrades. I bought 40 more, set of 40, and we're just going to run it back again. So we got about 70 div to spend after that massive farm. And this is kind of where we get to the point of not really knowing what to upgrade. So the first thing I do is corrupt a bunch of coral rings, and we're going to try and get a Crusader Winterweave. Gamble a bit. It's a 1 in 26 chance to get it, so we'll see how we go. No good. We're basically going to blow our entire budget on upgrading our bow. The only thing it's adding is 1 extra arrow and about 4 to 5% more DPS. We're also going to grab an Inspired Learning with a nice Corruption implicit, an Impossible Escape around Elemental Equilibrium, a better elegant hubris for that impossible escape, and a good cluster jewel to put that all in. And as you can see, our passive tree is just circles on circles on circles. And when we get more levels, we'll pick up those passives within the impossible escape area. But yeah, overall, build felt amazing. Basically ran the build on less than 20 divine the entire time. This is how the build's looking with all the upgrades, and the inspired learning and the bow upgrade definitely feel really nice. There isn't really much to upgrade it from here on out. I could spend about 180 div, I could get a Progenesis, and I could Volatile Valor my Foulborn Heroes for more defense. I don't really feel like I even need defense. This feels like one of the tankiest characters I've played for general mapping build. I haven't died much at all. So yeah, let me know if you liked the video, and if you want more, if you want an update, maybe a new farming strategy with this build, or if you would like a new 0 to hero.